A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this particular collective message, we are going to talk about a very strong emotion that a lot of people have been facing. They have faced it, or they are already sort of feeling bad about the situation, like why did we have to face this situation and why the other person is not willing to listen to us. So before I get started, I would like to tell you that for your personal situations, for customized reading, which means you are the focus and your problem is the focus at that point in time, please ask questions about you. People start sometimes asking questions about other people. Yes, you can ask about you and how others can treat you or will treat you or what's their situation in your life, but you should be the focal point of whatever is happening in your world. Because if you're not going to take care of yourself, an empty cup cannot fill others. So you need to first fill up yourself. Once you've gone through the description box and you're sure which therapy to book for yourself, which reading to take, then you can write to me. Once you've done it, once you've booked the whole thing, write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. And also do not share your journey in advance with me. And it is the spirit guides and masters who help us with the answers so that we can get the most honest and solution-oriented answer, very realistic answers they will give to you. And if you don't understand any of it, you also have the option of asking me, like, please elaborate what this means. So these are basically hand-holding sessions. Therapies are very deep hand-holding sessions. They obviously are very much important, but everybody is not in the root chakra energies. They are not in strong foundational energies. So sometimes they cannot afford therapy. For those people, they can get personal session or hand-holding counseling. And those who are actually managing with great difficulty, for them, I would recommend you can take the Zoom class. Somebody was asking me if I can get only one Zoom class. No, this is for those people who continually support, because they will get continuously the Zoom classes. But I'll still see what can be done. You can also buy my book In the Name of Love, which is a journey of finding your ultimate soulmate, and that's the most important reason why you should read it, because you are also on this journey, on this planet. This is the journey that you're going through right now. These are channel stories. These are stories of real people. These stories were given to me via mystical intervention. Someday maybe I'll talk about it in detail. Sometimes when you have psychic abilities and your kundalini is awakening, you don't even know how they make things happen through you. So everybody out here, we are all devices, we are all mediums, but we cannot take credit for it because we are not the doer. If we are not the doer, if the masters have chosen to train us, if the council of elders, the higher beings have shortlisted us, there were so many other people who may have volunteered, but they shortlisted us, looking at our capabilities, looking at our energies, to go to planet Earth at a certain specific time. When the energy shift is happening, they send us all over here. They are guiding us, they are protecting us, they are constantly taking care of us. And that's why a lot of us have not been in, we could have been in worse situations, because even we were so naive and we were trusting everyone literally. I still remember when I was young, I would trust anyone. I would go with anybody. All my friends were literally, if I think now, they were either weirdos, they were equally innocent, or they were really very cunning and they were only thinking about using me as a person, as not even as a friend, but literally they just wanted to use. Like, how can we use this person? In fact, all of the people they would talk to, their intention was to use them in some way or the other. So when you have lived with such people and you've put yourself in trouble many times, 2016, there was one Israeli boy, he actually drowned me in water. Like, he purposely threw me in water. He threw me in water knowing that at that time I could not swim, and I was telling him that I cannot swim. Still, I was screaming that I cannot swim, I cannot swim. He took me to one deep part of the lake and he dropped me. Just dropped me and swam back like nothing happened. And then obviously I was saved. I was saved by my masters, I would say. There was a psychic girl. she was also there in the water. She was with me. We were all together. She was the one who said, where is our friend? We need to look for her. Where is she? And then they saw my hands popping out for help, and 2 people had to pull me out. There's one thing I want to talk about, the psychic abilities that people have. I've been meeting people with psychic abilities and strong intuition, but the thing I feel is, like, sometimes they can be really good devices, but what happens many times is why people fall off that pattern is because they don't do enough. They get derailed. They get derailed by one thing or the other, by bad food, by bad relationships, or maybe just plain desires. Too many materialistic desires also derails people from their path sometimes. So most people on this planet, human beings, have sixth sense. Like animals have sixth sense too, very strong sixth sense. They live on that, they work on that, but they don't mix it up with anything. They continue to be natural. They continue to work for nature. They are so pure in their natural state that their sixth sense always keeps working. That's how they get food, that's how they get water, that's how they find shelter, all the things. And they all are very much practical and aware about it, that we will also die soon. Animal kingdom is in total surrender, plants and animals. But it's the humans who don't surrender. So even when people have sixth sense, they cannot develop it further. To develop it, they need to work on it. They need to leave everything behind and work on their abilities, and not in a way that, oh, I want to become powerful and I want to have these magical things, that these tricks that I can perform and I can do it in front of other people and they'll be like, wow, this person is so cool and amazing. No, that's not the reason. You do it for your peace of mind. You do it because you want to be a better person. You do it because you want to contribute to planet Earth, and that should be your number one thought, that I want to volunteer, I want to do something. And as I can say this, that you have to start from somewhere and then only it will expand. So when I started, I realized that my mission is more about animals. I love animals so much, even if I'm not going to the forest every day or meeting the tigers or the elephants. But whenever I see the wild animals also, in my heart, I feel, their condition should improve. And we need to first improve the situation for the street animals. India is a place where everybody can volunteer right now, because there are so many street animals that are not being taken care of. And you guys are most welcome. If you ever planning to travel towards India, you can always come here, stay, volunteer, help me out, and whatever, you can do for them, because there's so many street animals here and not so many people. I mean, fortunately, the number of animal lovers is increasing by the day. More and more people are awakening, and more people, as soon as you awaken, the first thing you want to do is you look around at your environment, animal kingdom, plants. You want to do something for them, yes. So it starts from somewhere and then the mission expands. So when I started hanging out with the animals, I started meeting a lot of people who are animal lovers. But what I could see is that a lot of them have so many wounds. There's so many people who want to go all out there, but they have these fears and they have all this trauma, and their family members are troubling them somehow, or they're not making enough money to be able to help too many. So I tell them that do whatever you can. Don't worry about money and how much you're contributing and how much time you're giving. Get out of your laziness. Form a better routine, because this is the thing that naturally comes to you. And many times I've noticed that they might not do anything for others, but when it comes to an animal, they will do it. Just for the sake of the animals, they will do inner work. And that's the best part about it. This is how animals have pushed me also to go all out there and talk to people like you, because I realized more and more with time that there are others too. There are others too. And they are awakening and they need this. And if all of them are awakened and all of them are volunteering and all of them are living their life, their actual life that they are here to live on planet Earth, that's it. The job is done. Isn't that amazing? Everybody in their own way is being themselves. Just be. And the more natural you are, the less effort you have to make to do anything. This guy who drowned me, he used to do some weird rituals. He was very open to entities, and I could see it in his eyes. He was so open for negative entities, even positive. But because of his, you can say desires, the ego, if you're pure, then you will automatically attract positive entities who will help you. But if you have too many desires, if you're very much like, I want name, I want fame, I want money, I want this, sex, vex, whatever it is, continuously looking for materialistic things, then those type of entities attach. And those entities have problem with people. Mostly on ascension, they would make sure that something should happen. So imagine I could have died that very minute, that day. What if the river's current was strong? It would have swept me away and they would have never been able to find me. And another problem with that lake was that the fishermen used to put the net everywhere. And every evening he would take it out. So who really saved me? And to save me, they chose people who also had psychic abilities. They also used them as, the helpful entities, the watchers. And the Mother Kundalini was obviously there. And since that day, I was like, you know what? If this is my weakness, if this is my problem, I'm going to learn. I've drowned almost 5-6 times in my life. And it always felt like I would die. I would not open my eyes again. But every time, they took care of me. They helped me. And there were so many bad situations like this. Car accidents. I don't know. I had this thing. I would always put myself into the worst situations somehow. Because of the adventurous nature or the curiosity or the blind trust. We can become effortlessly flowing with life and doing our work and doing volunteering and doing our inner work. We need to surrender to Source and the Masters. We need to know that they are there to get to us the help, the love, the affection. Instead of looking it all over the world, look for the love within. And this particular channeling, I really love these type of channelings that are coming up. In the past few days, some really wonderful messages are coming in because people have started telling me that we are not facing trouble only in our relationships. We face this everywhere. We face it in family relationships. We face this with work. We face this with other people in general. How the outside world is treating us. How the people are being unfair with us. So we are dealing it with so many places, but then that's the good part because they are giving you fodder. They are giving you stimuli to find what needs to be healed and mended. There are certain things that you need to leave and there are certain things that you need to hold on to. The blind trust on wrong people. You think that they're all so nice and they're so sweet. Why would they lie? Your intuition, your gut is churning inside. It's telling you, no, don't listen to them. They're not nice people. They'll put you in trouble. Maybe they purposely don't want to put you in trouble, but they are so open to entities. Like this guy was so open to entities. And he was open to entities only because he was staying up every night playing the same beat on his drum. Like the same damn beat. 9 hours in the night. So think about it, guys. I'm just giving you some of the examples from my life. Think about it. You guys must have also been in bad company, bad situations, bad habits, trusting the wrong people. Things could have gotten really worse. But you were saved in nick of time. So don't feel bad like why was I even in the situation, because it must have taught you a lot. Because I also kind of researched so much after this. Like, why do I keep drowning? How is it connected to my ascension? Why would this guy just lift me up and drop me in the middle of the lake? Why would he do that? Why would anybody do that? He looked like a sane person. Like sane as in, not that sane, but at least he didn't look like a person who would just drop a non-swimmer in the lake. He didn't look like that crazy. But why did he do that? And he had no empathy. That was the crazy part. And imagine when we meet people like these, so many people, they don't have empathy towards ascensioners especially. Ascensioners have, not to tell you guys it's superiority or inferiority or anything, just to tell you because ascension is not easy. What a lot of you people are doing on this planet is not easy. That's not the path that everybody chooses to be on. So a lot of times the message of this channeling is, and that's why I had to tell you this little bit of, story in between or in the beginning, just to tell you guys, just to make you understand that you may be experiencing something unique, something out of the world, or something that gives birth to many epiphanies, realizations, emotions, feelings, and most importantly, intuition. Sometimes you can read people way ahead in time. Okay, maybe some relative. Twin flame journey is also painful for some people because they see their counterpart, the masculine or feminine, as very healed. But they're not healed at that point in time. They're still very toxic and they still need to do inner work. Like a while would go into that. So instead of leaving them, dropping them there and there, then they keep looking out for, or they keep, looking at them as this healed person. Instead of understanding that they're not healed, but then they start, okay, the intuition has given them information. They also know that right now this person does not look like this. They may be very nice, 50% maybe they are like this, but 50% they are not. Right? Similarly, many times you get to know about other people's intentions, other people's emotions, other people's negative energy. And sometimes in order to protect the people you love, say your partner, your ex now, maybe present, whatever. I'm not making it like you have to be separated or you have to be in relationship. This channeling applies to all people. People from all walks of life who are in twin flame ascension journey, it applies to all of them. And it also applies to different relationships and different types of situations. Due to your intuition, your intuitiveness, you can predict certain things maybe. Or you can read certain people. Say your boyfriend has a very toxic friend, a girlfriend, like girlfriend, woman friend. Or you can see his sister is very toxic and she really doesn't want you both to be together. And you walk up to him and you tell him that, I don't think your sister wants us to be together and she's the one who's creating problem. And he would be like, what? Why would you say that about my sister? She loves me. And I'm talking about a genuine case, because there are cases where it's not necessary that it could be the other person. You could be the sister in some situation and you could see your brother or anybody else. As I said, it can be applied to any situation. Your brother is with the wrong person. Maybe his best friend is bad. Maybe his, whosoever he's dating in relationship with is not a good person. Maybe the employer, maybe the job he's getting into, or any such situation. You just go and warn that person, the one you care for, and they don't take it in the way that you're warning them. They get very upset about it. They go like, why would you say this about my friend or my girlfriend or my wife or my boss or whosoever it is? Maybe you know that your mother is hanging out with a bunch of very creepy ladies who are very selfish, and your mother is very innocent. She cannot understand it. She's trusting them. On the faces they are very nice and sweet, and at the back they are like snakes ready to bite. So you want to tell her that, your friend is not nice, and you go up to her and tell her, Mom, I don't like your best friend. She's not a good person. Her mother goes like, why would you speak like that about my best friend? Behave yourself. Don't speak like this about elders. And what's the proof? How do you know? So it happens in romantic cases, non-romantic cases, it happens in love, it happens in friendship. Because of your intuitiveness, because of your sense of reading, you are walking up to people and telling them a lot of things. Or out of concern you're doing it maybe. You don't want them to suffer, so you're protecting them. But they don't see it like that. So this is where the message is. This is where the guidance is. Some of you are really sad, saying that, why people treat me like this? Why don't they see my intention? You need to stop forcing them to believe you, first of all. You got a gut feeling, you got a hunch. If they ask you, how do you know? Just say, I have a feeling, I have a strong feeling. I just had this sense of, but I don't want you to make any hasty decisions. You take your time, do whatever you want. Don't convince people to do what you tell them to do, or, You can just tell them, like, look, this is the thing. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, it's all right. And then I know it's very annoying and irritating because sometimes time seems to be slow. Like, when is it going to change? When is it going to change? I've already told them. They don't listen. Maybe 2 or 3 situations happen and you can see it, like, clearly, that this person is doing bad to your person. Your boyfriend's or girlfriend's best friend is an evil person. Maybe they are hitting on you behind their back. And you walk up to your person and tell them that your best friend is hitting on me. Literally hitting on me, clearly. And they go like, oh, come on. They may be fooling around with you, joking with you. Like, no, they took off their clothes in front of me. Oh, come on. They may be changing. Like, it's like, dude, it's real. Listen to me. No. Come on. I know them for 20 years. They can never do this to me. And you, I know for only 1 year or 2 years. You're the one who wants us to be broken apart. You're the problem. I'd rather leave you but not leave my best friend who stuck with me for 20 years. At that point in time, you should say, okay, honey, you want to leave me? You want to stay with your best friend? Please do that. I have self-respect. I told you something. You can tell them that I never spoke about breaking up, or I never spoke about, I am telling you that I don't like their energy and there's something about it. And if you don't want to believe me, all right. All the very best. I hope I'm wrong. Say that and that's it. Don't convince them. Don't cajole them. Don't force them. This is the mistake that most people make, and then it becomes too much. Say nobody is involved. For example, right now I spoke about people who could be involved in your relationship. For example, nobody is involved. It's just the two of you. It's just the two of you, and between the two of you, this person goes on, the other person goes on misunderstanding everything you do for them. Even when you're nice to them, even when you're loving and affectionate, they continuously misunderstand you and they blame you and blah, blah, blah. And if you try to tell them that, look, I understand, like, you're not getting it. So how do you know it? They would say, I just know it. Like, how do you know? I have a gut feeling. I have an intuition power. I think I'm a psychic. Ha, you're a psychic. Oh, wow, that's funny. Tell me my future. Predict. Because most people think that a psychic's role is only to predict. That's what internet has made it. It's not just predictions. It's so vast what people with psychic abilities can do. First of all, it's for them to experience it. It's not for other people. It's not for validation. Psychic abilities are not for validation. You know, that, okay, I'm going to show them something cool and they'll all love me and like me. It's not like that. If you are entering that domain, you need to understand that you need to be alone. Every day you need to have private space and private time. You need to have at least your own room, which no one should enter just like that. You should keep it clean, you should tidy it, and you should take care of yourself. You should read, and you should stop yourself from distractions. Because these distractions, they are the ones that make a person's psychic abilities lesser and lesser. And inner work is very important. The more inner work you do, the more your gifts will unlock. And they don't unlock in 1 day or 2 days. So I'm just already giving you like a disclaimer, or you need to put in effort and you need to be very curious about it. These things are discussed in therapy, especially during chakra alignment therapy. We discuss these things, and for those people who take the second course, they totally jump into the metaphysical domain, because some people who directly take the chakra alignment therapy, because chakras are always fine, it's we who are not in alignment. We need to come back in alignment. So sometimes people come with so much baggage, so much trauma, so much pain, and so many templates to heal, that 7 sessions are not enough at all. So by the time they heal, at least 2 therapies they've taken, 2 courses they've done, then they start wanting to take interest in metaphysics. Before that, they're more concerned about romance and what will happen to my relationship, where will I go, what will I do, blah, blah, blah. Only when they have healed, only when they've corrected themselves, only when they've started working on themselves for real, only when they've started experiencing something beyond the limiting beliefs of this planet, the illusion, the Maya. Once they step out of the Maya, then they have deep innate interest in metaphysics. They want to know about source, they want to know about all the stories I've been discussing. They talk a lot about, I want to know this language, I want to know this, everything they'll question. That is because they have now started experiencing a different dimension. Because as long as the template was unhealed, the baggage was too heavy to be carried out, they were not, even if they liked it, they were getting distracted. Lust is very distracting. Sexual energy is very distracting if it's not healed. So the whole channeling, the collective message is, don't explain to them in too much depth and detail which they cannot even understand. Look, they are not in that frequency. They like you, they love you, but they're also confused about you. And if anybody is confused about you, let them be in their own confusion. You walk out from there. You don't have to convince anyone. That's the point. You don't have to convince anyone. God will show them everything with time, especially when you detach, especially when you let it go, especially when you have no desire left to, get the validation, approval, convince them, make them do what you want them to do. No, you just leave it. That's unconditional love. Unconditional love is not about telling people do this, do that. It's about giving them the information and then let them decide. Free will. Let them decide. If they get angry, upset, hyper, or worse maybe, you should just drop it over there. You can tell them, okay, I've told you what it is, how I feel. That's it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Forget about it. Or if you're in a situation where you feel that, this thing has to be healed, tell them that I'm telling you, later on, when you figure it out, you'll thank me. Have that much confidence and then drop it over there. Alright? So thank you so much for everything that you're doing on the path of inner work. Keep it up. Work on yourself the way you're working. And remain humble about it. Always realize that it's not happening just because of you. There are masters, spirit guides who are with all of us. Okay? So I'll see you soon in another one. One love and peace out, and Jai Shri Ram.